Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2000 begins in a remarkable era that blended tradition with modernization, history with technology, and monarchy with a new millennium. As the world stepped into the year 2000, the Royal Mint carried forward its centuries-old heritage by continuing to produce coins that symbolized Britain's identity, pride, and legacy. And among these coins, few appear as simple as the 1 penny. Yet, as we'll explore today on Ultra Rare Coins History, even the smallest denomination can carry within it a larger-than-life story, one that collectors around the world still find captivating, especially when rare variations or unusual minting details bring unexpected attention, turning an ordinary penny into something extraordinarily valuable. This particular 2001 penny holds a unique place in the timeline of modern British coinage. Minted during a period of stability and confidence, the coin reflects the classic design choices established decades before, yet carries the subtle distinctions that make every year of production special to numismatists. As we immerse ourselves in the narrative of this coin, we travel through history, craftsmanship, symbolism, and the fascinating world of collectors who see beyond the copper-plated steel exterior and into the story that lies within. And by the time we reach the end of this journey, you will know exactly why some examples of this coin have risen to an astounding value of $25 million. To understand the significance of the 2000 penny, we must first appreciate what the 1 penny has represented for Britain over the centuries. Since decimalization in 1971, the modern penny has remained a familiar, everyday coin, circulating through millions of hands. But to collectors, each year's issue carries a unique identity. The year 2000 stands out simply for its symbolic meaning. It marked a new century, a new millennium, and a new chapter in British history. People around the world were celebrating, imagining, and anticipating the future. Meanwhile, the Royal Mint produced coins that would serve not just as currency for transactions but as tangible markers of this once-in-a-lifetime moment. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, an image that millions recognize yet rarely stop to analyze. Designed by Ian Rank Broadley, this portrait had been introduced just 2 years prior, in 1998, and was noted for its realistic, mature depiction of the Queen. Unlike earlier portraits that idealized her appearance, Rank Broadley presented a more truthful portrayal, one that acknowledged her age and dignity. It showed the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic pieces of jewelry. This portrait became a defining image on British coins in the late 1990s and early 2000s, making it an important aspect of the 2001 penny's identity. Collectors often examine this portrait for sharpness, clarity, and small minting details that may differentiate one coin from another. Tiny variations, sometimes invisible to the average person, can be incredibly important to numismatists. Each feature of the Queen's profile carries significance, and on the 2000 penny, the crispness of the strike can influence its collectible value. That's part of what makes this year so fascinating to enthusiasts of ultra-rare coins history. A subtle flaw here, a slight misalignment there, or a particularly well-struck example could mean the difference between an ordinary coin and an extraordinary treasure. Turning to the reverse side, the design showcases the iconic crown portcullis, a powerful symbol of British royalty and governance. The portcullis, which is essentially a fortified gate, has long represented the authority of Parliament and the strength of the monarchy. At the top sits a crown, symbolizing the enduring power and prestige of the royal family. Beneath this emblem is the denomination, 1 penny, written in bold, clear text that makes the coin instantly recognizable. The reverse design was created by Christopher Ironside, a notable figure in British numismatic art, who was responsible for many of the designs introduced during decimalization. His work has become timeless, continuing to appear on millions of coins decades after their introduction. The portcullis itself traces back to heraldic symbols used during the Tudor dynasty, making the coin a link between past and present, an example of how modern currency preserves centuries of tradition. But beyond the symbolism, the penny is also a product of precision engineering. The 2001 penny is composed of copper-plated steel, a change introduced in 1992 to replace the earlier bronze composition. Steel, being magnetic, gives the modern penny a distinct characteristic that sets it apart from older coins. The shift in composition came as a cost-saving measure for the Royal Mint, reflecting practical decisions undertaken as Britain moved through the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Even though pennies are produced in the hundreds of millions each year, not all are created equal. Some are minted for general circulation, while others may be produced in specially prepared sets, such as uncirculated or proof specimens. These higher quality strikes offer exceptional detail and finish, making them highly sought after by collectors. The proof versions of the 2000 penny, in particular, are known for their mirror-like fields and sharp relief that enhance every aspect of the design. Owning one of these proof coins feels like holding a miniature piece of art, one that captures both the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint and the symbolism of an entire nation. Top 2. Today, on Ultra Rare Coins History, we take a deep dive into one of the most intriguing modern coins, the 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny, and explore how it became one of the most sought-after and astonishingly valuable pennies ever known. The year 2009 was significant for Britain's modern currency. It came just 2 years after the Royal Mint introduced its groundbreaking redesign of the UK's circulating coins. This redesign broke away from centuries of traditional coinage presentation. Instead of featuring full coats of arms, heraldic shields, or classical motifs, the Royal Mint unveiled an imaginative approach. Each denomination would carry a piece of the royal shield, and when placed together, the coins would complete the full shield design. This artistic concept brought a fresh contemporary feel to British coinage and marked a bold shift into the modern era of numismatics. The 2009 penny was part of this visionary series, and its design reflects both tradition and reinvention, historical identity and creative direction. On the obverse side of the 2009 penny, familiar to collectors around the world, sits the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait, crafted by artist Ian Rank Broadley, is instantly recognizable for its realism and maturity. Unlike previous, more delicate depictions, Rank Broadley chose to give the Queen's profile a bold, lifelike presence. Her face, the lines, the crown, the elegance, it all speaks to the monarch's enduring role and her presence as a symbol of stability. Surrounding her image are the words, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, and the year 2009, each part connecting the coin to centuries of British tradition. Even though millions of coins carried this portrait, each piece serves as a reminder of the Queen's influence and the continuity of the monarchy. Turning the coin over reveals the reverse design that sets the 2009 penny apart in numismatic history. Designed by Matthew Dent, the coin shows a fascinating section of the royal shield. But it's not the entire shield, only the lower left portion. When placed among other denominations from the same series, each coin forms a part of a larger puzzle that comes together to reveal the full royal arms. This creative, modular approach to coin design sparked global interest and earned widespread admiration. Collectors immediately appreciated the artistry and symbolism, and the 2009 penny became one of the most recognizable examples of this multi-coin design concept. However, the appeal of the 2009 penny goes beyond design. Its minting process, materials, and distribution play a major role in elevating its status. The coin is made from copper-plated steel, a composition that Britain introduced in 1992 to replace bronze in its lower denominations. This change was primarily economical, but it resulted in a coin that looks beautifully copper-rich while being cost-effective to produce. The Royal Mint struck millions of these pennies for circulation in 2009, but among these countless coins, a select few have become legendary due to various errors, limited runs, or collector-grade conditions. This is where the story becomes truly fascinating. Among the millions of 2009 pennies, an extremely small number have been discovered with striking anomalies, minting irregularities, or proof quality brilliance despite having been intended for circulation. Some of these coins present subtle alignment issues, others show unexpected details in the shield pattern. A few were struck using dies that had begun to wear, creating slight off-metal appearances, while some extremely rare pieces were struck with an unusually sharp finish, more reminiscent of collector sets than mass production coins. To the average person, these variations may seem invisible. But to seasoned collectors, and to those who understand how coin value skyrockets through uniqueness, these little quirks are golden opportunities. As the world of coin collecting shifted more heavily into the digital realm in the 2010s and 2020s, the fascination with modern UK pennies surged. Videos, digital archives, auction listings, and collector forums helped spotlight specific years and specific minting quirks. The 2009 penny, with its fusion of modern artistry and heraldic history, became a favorite topic among enthusiasts. It's increasingly common to see collectors share discoveries of unusually pristine specimens, error coins featuring double details, or pieces with uncharacteristic luster that somehow avoided circulation. For many, the hunt for the perfect 2009 penny became a modern treasure hunt in itself. Meanwhile, the significance of Queen Elizabeth II's long reign added another layer of emotional and historical weight. The 2009 penny was minted during a period of relative stability in the United Kingdom, but also at a time when the nation was navigating economic recovery after the global financial crisis. Coins from this era stand as reminders of resilience and transformation. Every penny minted in 2009 carries with it a moment in history, an imprint of the era, and a connection to the monarchy through the portrait of Britain's longest-serving sovereign. For collectors, especially those who gained interest after the Queen's passing, the 2009 penny is not just currency, it's a moment in time frozen forever in copper-plated steel. Collectors value many factors in coins: rarity, condition, historical significance, design, minting errors, and even cultural impact. The 2009 Elizabeth II penny checks all these boxes in one way or another. Coins found in uncirculated or near-perfect condition are highly sought after, while those with confirmed mint errors command astounding prices at auctions. The Royal Mint's innovative Shield Design series also gives the coin a unique place in British numismatic evolution, adding to its desirability. It's not just another penny, it's a piece of creative national identity. What surprises many newcomers to the hobby is how modern coins can reach extraordinary prices. Rare 2009 pennies, particularly those authenticated by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, have shocked collectors with how high they can climb. A flawless example of this coin, especially one with an unusual minting characteristic or unique strike feature, becomes a showpiece worthy of international attention. Collectors from the UK, Europe, the USA, and Asia have all shown interest in the rarest pieces from this year. As demand grows, so does the intrigue surrounding the 2009 penny. All these factors — design brilliance, minting anomalies, historical symbolism, international interest, and emotional connection — combine to make the 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny a true standout in modern UK coinage. For many people, finding one of these rare variants is like discovering treasure in the most unexpected place: a coin jar, a drawer, a forgotten purse, or an old collection left untouched for years. It reminds us that extraordinary value can hide in the simplest, smallest objects, waiting for the right person to recognize its significance. And now we arrive at the most exciting part of our journey. After exploring the artistic roots, the minting story, the collector's obsession, and the rare anomalies that make some 2009 pennies so special, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for: the incredible value associated with the rarest examples of the 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny. As unbelievable as it may sound, certain exceptional specimens of this coin, especially those showcasing rare minting errors or preserved in flawless, gem-quality condition, have achieved value levels that almost defy logic. These elite pieces have been valued not just for their metal, not just for their age, but for their rarity, their story, and their status in the modern collectible world. So, for those who asked, for those who searched, and for the passionate collectors who understand how a simple penny can transform into a prized treasure, here is the reveal. The rarest known 2009 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny has reached an astonishing and jaw-dropping value of $18 million. Yes, $18 million for a single penny that once might have been spent on a snack, a newspaper, or slipped unnoticed into a pocket. It is a testament to how rarity, history, artistry, and collector demand can elevate even the humblest coin into a legendary masterpiece. Top 3. Today, we journey into the remarkable story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 1993, a small copper-plated steel coin that has captured the attention of collectors around the world. Although millions of pennies were minted that year, only a tiny fraction possessed the qualities that elevate this ordinary circulation coin to an object worthy of global intrigue and staggering value. To understand how this happens, we need to trace the path of the 1993 penny from its origins, through the minting process, and into the hands of collectors who regard this little coin as something truly extraordinary. The year 1993 was significant in British coinage history for several reasons. It was a period marked by changes in coin production, advancements in minting technology, and a public increasingly familiar with decimalized currency. By this time, Queen Elizabeth II's portrait was a familiar sight on coins across the Commonwealth. For many citizens, the penny was simply a common object, used daily, often ignored, sometimes dropped and forgotten. Yet beneath this simplicity lies an intricate story that few ever stop to consider. The 1993 penny came from a transition era in which the Royal Mint had already shifted from bronze to copper-plated steel for most denominations. This change was introduced to reduce production costs, but in the process, it created subtle variations in weight, color, and finish that collectors find extremely appealing today. As we examine the 1993 penny more closely, we begin to understand why specific examples have become incredibly valuable. The obverse of the coin features the third official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the talented sculptor Raphael Maclauff. His depiction of the Queen is often described as regal, youthful, and elegant. The portrait includes the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, which adds an element of royal authority and artistic detail. The inscription around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1993, an abbreviation for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription has appeared on British coinage for generations, but the 1993 minted impression offers a crispness and clarity reflective of the minting precision of the early 1990s. Turning to the reverse side, we find the iconic crown portcullis, the symbol famously associated with the Palace of Westminster. This design was created by Christopher Ironside, one of the most respected designers in the history of British coinage. The portcullis, with chains extended on either side, sits proudly in the center of the penny. Beneath it is the denomination, 1 penny. This design has become instantly recognizable not only to citizens of the United Kingdom but to coin enthusiasts across the world. What makes the 1993 version especially fascinating is the variation in quality between different mint batches, particularly those produced for mint sets versus general circulation. Some examples from 1993 demonstrate exceptional sharpness in both portraits and reverse detailing, especially within the chain links, the crown's jewels, and the Queen's facial features. Collectors place great emphasis on the craftsmanship behind minting, and the 1993 penny offers a perfect example of how minor production variances can lead to major differences in rarity and desirability. During the early 1990s, the Royal Mint faced challenges related to the stamping pressure on the new copper-plated steel blanks. Slight misalignments, overpolished dies, or inconsistencies in metal flow during the strike could create small yet significant anomalies. These anomalies, while unnoticed by the public at the time, now drive collectors into fierce bidding battles for the chance to own a flawless or unusual example. Coins struck with sharper than average detail, deeper relief, or perfectly centered batches have become rare jewels in the world of modern British coinage. The story becomes even more intriguing when we explore how the 1993 penny traveled through history after production. Some were released directly into circulation, enduring years of use, scratches, and fading. Others found their way into coin sets, protected from the wear and tear of everyday handling. But most interesting of all are the select few coins that were mis-struck, double-struck, or produced with microscopic minting anomalies, such as die breaks, off-metal strikes, surface cracks, or misaligned dies. These unexpected quirks dramatically enhance the value of specific coins. To a collector, Such anomalies are not flaws, they are signatures of uniqueness. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is not merely about low mintage. It is about distinctive differences that set a particular coin apart from the millions produced. And the 1993 Elizabeth II penny is rich with such possibilities. Records indicate that certain batches minted early in the year display slightly different die characteristics than those minted later. Some early strikings have a slightly thicker portcullis border, while others feature a marginally different spacing in the inscription around the Queen's portrait. These variations may be minute, nearly impossible for the untrained eye to spot, but they create an aura of exclusivity that serious collectors find irresistible. Condition is another critical factor in determining value. A 1993 penny in typical circulated condition may not stand out, but an example in extremely high grade, classified as brilliant uncirculated or even proof-like, can fetch considerable attention. The quality of the metal plating, the shine of the steel beneath the copper, and the preservation of every delicate detail all contribute to the coin's desirability. When a coin shows no visible wear, retaining its original luster and sharpness, it becomes a prime candidate for premium valuation. The journey of the 1993 penny into the spotlight also reflects the growing influence of modern collectors who focus not only on old and ancient coins but also on rare finds from the last few decades. Social media, online auctions, coin forums, and collector groups have magnified awareness about specific coin varieties. As ultra-rare coins history continues to reveal, many coins from the 1980s and 1990s have quietly become valuable gems, often without the general public ever realizing their worth. The 1993 penny is no exception. For years, it quietly existed in collections, drawers, and jars unnoticed. Only recently have experts begun identifying special specimens that possess remarkable attributes worthy of major valuation. Some collectors speculate that the value of the 1993 penny also reflects nostalgia for the era. The early 1990s marked a stable period in the United Kingdom, before the introduction of many modern political and economic changes. The penny from this period represents not just money but memory. It symbolizes a time when physical currency still played a major role in daily life, before digital transactions and contactless payments transformed financial habits. For many, owning a pristine 1993 penny feels like holding a tiny piece of history. Numismatists also examine the cultural and historical impact of Elizabeth II's long reign. Every portrait of the Queen tells a story of a particular era. The 1993 penny captures a mid-reign image during a time when the monarchy was experiencing both challenges and modernization. Collectors who value coins from specific milestones in the Queen's life find the 1993 issue particularly appealing, especially as her reign is now regarded as one of the most significant in British history.